There's no denying that our real estate market has seen a pretty big shift as of late, but many don't realize that it has been creeping in for about 11 weeks. This really began when the Fed started raising the interest rates back in March. Now, they warned us this was coming, but no one predicted that it would jump 4 points from the beginning of the year to now. And now we are starting to see articles from JP Morgan Chase warning about an economic hurricane. And with inflation at an all-time high and people talking about a recession, we're either going to get in one or we are in one now. What effects are these going to have on the housing market? Is now a good time to buy? And how high can interest rates really go? Now, make sure you stick around to the end because I have a really good graph to show you that is probably going to make people feel, I hope at least, a little better about interest rates. In the meantime, I really want to hear about you. Do you think interest rates are going to stall out the market? And how long do you think they're going to stay high? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, we were all warned that interest rates were going to rise this year, but that really turned up the heat in the first part of the year where everybody wanted to get in the market before the interest rates actually started to rise. And buyers went crazy. Now, when we look back at what type of appreciation we saw from March of last year to March of this year, let's just look. We have 27% appreciation. That's still huge. So in March is when we saw our interest rates first break that 4% mark since 2019. It was also when we saw gas prices hit over $4 a gallon. However, in housing, we were still not seeing a real slowdown yet. Fast forward to now, with our continued inflation on everything that we're buying, our rising gas prices, coupled with our rising interest rates, it is really making it hard for those that want to buy stay in the game. Our Cromford Market Index has seen our fastest monthly drop ever. But our one bright spot in this whole thing is that our supply is rising faster than our demand is dropping. That is a really good sign because this means that people are still looking for homes. But the question every buyer still wants to know is now a good time for me to buy? And the answer is, it's not the right time for everyone. Interest rates play a really big role in what people can afford. But as we have talked about in other videos, you buy your monthly payment. You do not buy your loan amount. So don't let that loan amount scare you. If you can qualify for the loan and afford the monthly payment, that's all you really need to worry about. Okay, now back to interest rates and those that are trying to forecast them. No one really knows what they're going to do. The National Association of Realtors tried to forecast them, but as you can see, they have changed them January, March, and now June. And every time they've gone up. And the Mortgage Bankers Association has made their prediction, and as you can see, those are different than what we just saw. Everyone is making their best educated guess, but nobody really knows. So what does that leave a buyer to do? Make the best decision they can with the information they have right now. Now, everyone had FOMO for the last 18 months. They all had the fear of missing out on the best deal with the best interest rate. What you don't want to get caught up in right now is fear, uncertainty, and doom. Okay, now let's take a look at this chart. Now, we are making some assumptions here, and we're using the Mortgage Bankers Association interest rates that we just looked at. And before you say interest rates are already higher than this and they're going to keep going up, just remember I have a great slide at the end to show you that I really think is going to make you feel better about what we're talking about here. So let's take a look at this. So this is really talking about waiting versus buying now. So we're making some assumptions, like I said, and if we're looking at a loan that is $425,000 at an interest rate of 5.23%, your principal and interest is $2,342 a month. Now, let's just say you refinanced in a year when interest rates go down. Let's just see. You would ultimately be saving $144 a month because your interest rate would go down. And let's not forget about the equity that you would have in your home by now at $6,000 in 1 year. Now, let's say interest rates go down again in year 2 and you refinance then. Let's say you will be saving $274 a month and you will be putting $12,000 of equity in your home. Okay, now let's look and see if you decided to purchase later. And we make, again, some assumptions that some home prices are going down. So if they go down by 5%, let's say now the home price is $404. Your interest rate is 5.7%, and your monthly payment is $2,345. Again, just a little bit higher than had you purchased. Okay, so now let's say you wait until 2023 when they say maybe home prices will have dropped by 10%. What does that scenario look like? So the home price would then be $383, interest rate at 5.1%, and your monthly payment would be a little over $2,000. And all in all, you would have saved $262 a month. Okay, and then the last scenario, let's look at if you purchased in 2024 and everything stays the same, but the interest rate drops to 4.4%. So you're still at a $425 purchase price, but a 4.4% interest rate. Your monthly payment is $2,128. You would save $214 just because the interest rate had gone down. But let's go back and take a look at what you've really missed out on. So if the prices drop by 10%, the maximum that you can save per month is $262. Now let's go back to the first scenario where you bought at $425, but in 2 years you refinanced. You would end up saving $274 a month. But again, don't forget about the equity that you have in your house at $12,000. If you can buy right now, it is still a good time to buy. You will grow equity over time. This is why I continually say on my videos what a great wealth building tool real estate is. Now, I know this scenario will not work for everybody. So that's why I say that for some, it is absolutely not the right time to buy right now. But I strongly suggest that you absolutely talk to a lender, talk to them about all the different scenarios that you could be running, see what financially makes sense or not in your specific situation. Okay, so if you're staying in the game as a buyer, it has officially gone from a frenzy to a hot market. But our inventory is still lower than what we see in a normal market. So I wanted to show this to you because I get asked this question all the time. How many listings do we normally have on the market this time of year? And to tell you that, first I have to put on my glasses because I cannot read this fine print. So currently we have 10,377 active listings on the market. What do we normally have? We normally have 15,000. Now, here's the kicker. This is why we saw such an absolute frenzy. We had 15,000, and then we had 9,000. And then last year at this time, we had 5,000 active listings on the market for all the buyers to choose from. And now again, right now, we are back up to 10,000. It's a big jump. So one of the things that keeps coming up is that all of this influx of inventory, and where is it coming from? Well, one of the places that we're seeing it come from is new construction. So new construction is actually starting to put these homes into the MLS, which they have not had to do for a very, very long time. They need us to bring them buyers. No longer can they just create this gigantic long list of people that will wait in line and pay them whatever they want for these houses. They now need to put them in MLS so that they can be seen by us as real estate agents to bring them their buyers. So even with all of these things that we have out there, we still do not see our market headed for the crash. The numbers and the data just do not support that theory. I know this chart looks like that is exactly what we are headed for because of this sharp downturn. But we have to get all the way down here for us to even reach a balanced market. We have to go well below that for us to see a crash. And just like I've said before, this can turn very quickly. Look at what happened right here. That turn. We could see the same thing. Do I think we're going to? Not that drastically, but I do think that what we could end up seeing, a little bit of a flattening. And oh yeah, let's not forget, it is June and it is hot. We have not seen our seasonal downturn in our market for the past 2 years. People couldn't travel, they couldn't leave, and so they were stuck. They were really focused on real estate. They were hyper-focused on real estate. This year, people are traveling. They're moving about like they normally used to. We are seeing our normal seasonal slowdown, and people have kind of forgotten about that. Okay, now for the chart I've been talking about, and I really hope that this brings hope to anybody that's looking at it. So here's the chart that I've been waiting to show you. Why? Because I want to give you hope. At the end of almost every recession, we have seen a sharp decline in our interest rates. So as they spike up during a recession, as soon as that's over, it declines. And our recessions have usually, historically, only lasted 1 to 2 years. So let's just even look at a couple of these. And the most recent one was our our big crash. And that one lasted for 2 years, but we didn't even near the interest rates that we have seen all the way back here. So I hope this gives you some sort of perspective when it comes to the interest rates, because although 6% sound terrible, it is not 18. And I don't see us getting up that high ever again. So I hope this information was helpful. I hope it gave you a little bit of hope and a lot of information. If I can answer any other questions for you, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is down below. And if you like this video, make sure you check out this one. It's going to give you some other great information. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.